Hello, friends. This is Ted from Out of This World Radio, and I want to thank Professor Laszlo so much for inviting us to do a promo for his wonderful Upshift conference happening on February 22nd. And the conference is all about, as I understand it, on making this world a better place. So we've got some fantastic people who will talk about all of our efforts to get water, clean water to the Hopi and especially the Navajo Indians too. They've been drinking radioactive water for many years. The average longevity of women on the reservation is only 54 years on the Hopi, and for men it's like 44 years. So years ago, about 4 years ago now, I had Leon McLaughlin of the Washington Clean Water Foundation on my radio show, Out of This World Radio. The website is www.outofthisworld1150.com. And I was asking Leon about his efforts to get clean water throughout the world. And I said to him, well, what about the Native Americans like the Hopi? And he said, I didn't know anything about that. He honestly didn't. So I said, well, I think we should focus in on doing something about that. That started fundraising. And shortly thereafter, I think within a month, a $35,000 donation came in from Idaho, a lady named Teresa in Idaho. And since that time, I know about 60,000 or so has come through my show. And then Leon's gotten tremendous support as well. He can tell you all about that. Because we've got a shortened time today, we'll just we'll go first Mitchie, and then we'll talk to Nancy and Carolyn, Martha, and then finally Leon, who now has a new name, Galaxy Note 8. But anyway, Mitchie, please introduce yourself to the audience and how you make the world a better place.
Okay, thank you so much, Ted. Thank you so much, Dr. Irvin Laszlo. I am Michiko Hayashi from Emoto Peace Project in Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Laszlo visited Dr. Emoto while he was still alive. I think it was a couple of times. And I met him here in my office and also in Finland again. And so it's really nice to be able to share this beautiful message through his channel. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I was Dr. Emoto's personal assistant for almost 11 years until he passed in 2014. And I am the successor of his legacy called Emoto Peace Project. Through Emoto Peace Project, with this children's book, The Message from Water, we are teaching, educating mainly children and of course everybody else that water is life. Water has memory and water transmits information, and that our brain actually is the transmitter and also receiver of vibration. What we think is vibration, that's energy. And what we think, how we feel is emitting, and then that comes back, resonates with the same vibration, and then comes back to me, to you, to everyone. Through this book, it shows how water makes crystals, in that it depends, the beautiful crystals are made when water is exposed to something beautiful or something positive. And when with the natural water, around the water is really beautiful, but it can be, the contaminated, polluted water can be really ugly. And we are helping those people in Hopi land and Navajo, because we don't want anyone to be drinking or cooking with this polluted, dirty water. Water is life, as you all know. And water is the mirror of our mind, our heart. We are all connected through water. Instantaneously, what we are doing, what we are thinking will come back to you. So when you help each other, that same thing that you are doing will come back to you, because it's the law of vibration. Along with this, the Clean Water Foundation, we are distributing this children's book so that people can, everyone, all the children, everyone can learn about water and how water responds to different words like thank you and you fool, and do it and let's do it. Also peace and war. We want children to learn to think positive, to use positive words, to be kind and compassionate. So that's Emoto Peace Project. And thank you so much.
Great. Mitchie, could you give out your nonprofit organization relies upon donations? Could you please give out your website so people could?
Okay, thank you. It's www.emoto, spelled EMOTO, peaceproject.net. Emotopeaceproject.net.
And they can
Thank
write
you
there
so
too.
much.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Thanks, Mitchie. You do beautiful work. I know
Thank
Dr.
you.
Moto's very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. And we'll all say something at the end too. Nancy, please introduce yourself if you like, and love to hear
Yes.
from you too.
My name is Nancy Rivard, and I'm the president of Airline Ambassadors International. And I started this foundation after my father died. My father died, he was only 54 years old, and I wanted to do something meaningful with my life. So I quit a corporate job at American Airlines and became a flight attendant again to give me the time off to pursue a spiritual search for meaning. And I went my first visit was to go visit Grandfather David, the spiritual elder of the Hopi. This is in 1981. Grandfather and I went up to a big meeting with the Navajo. They were concerned about water at that time and very concerned. And so ultimately, I left the Hopi Reservation, but was in the United Nations in 1993, I believe.
Mhm.
The Grandfather David had died, but Thomas gave the Hopi prophecy, and the same phenomena that happened on the Hopi Reservation happened at the UN. He had said we have to follow a path that's in harmony with the earth. And I later learned about the work of Dr. Emoto, and I was so excited. So my work with Airline Ambassadors has been to inspire people from all walks of life to directly help children. And one of the ways we can do it is by providing clean water. I was especially excited when Leon, who I had delivered some of his filters to the Philippines, we have missions all over the world, 62 countries.
Mhm.
And he told me about the Hopi project. And I said, the Hopi project. And he said, they especially need reverse osmosis filters. And I said, well, my dad pioneered the work in reverse osmosis. I'm so excited. Yes, I want to be involved. We want to help lead this effort through Airline Ambassadors to provide clean water for the Hopi and Navajo. And we are so excited to help promote this concert on World Water Day, March 22nd, to bring the world's attention to what's happening on the reservations and give ordinary people a way to directly make a difference.
Fantastic. Is there a website or a way they can support your efforts?
Yes, it's www.airlineamb, Apple Mother Boy.org.
Okay.
You'll see the Hopi and Navajo concert right on the front page.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. You'll come on. I want you to come on at the end too. And we're right on. When we get to a minute left, I'll raise my hand. So Carolyn, please, we'd love to hear from you as well.
Well, hi, I'm Carolyn White, and I've been involved with energy work for 45 years. And I think the thing is, Dr. Emoto, to me, when he came out with his seminal work, just really proved that all of the ethereal things and that I felt, it put it into a three-dimensional perspective for me. And I'm involved with Natural Choice Network and now Sedona Spotlight, helping put together this concert and arranging things. And we're going to have so many heartfelt entertainers there that will share their message with everyone, because we are the Hopi and the Navajo are the caretakers, the elders of this planet. Many people don't realize that the Hopi have a chakra system just like the ancient Hindus do.
Mhm.
So it is very important that we provide a resource for them to have a human right, a right that everybody should need clean drinking water. So please check out sedonaspotlight.com, www.sedonaspotlight.com. We have all kinds of information on their events, link to the concert, and all of the artists, because I think the thing is that I feel like I'm part of this small community. So really, when a small group comes together like we have here, when we have a common purpose to raise consciousness in the world through providing clean, healthy drinking water. So it's like whether it's for the group members or for the community, we can light up the world. And I think that's the most important thing, that our mission is to light up the world.
Great. Thank you, Carolyn. Beautiful words. Wonderful. So glad you're here. Martha, I'd love to hear from you, my dear friend. You're in Sedona, really close to the Hopis, and you were taking food to the Hopi last year when they had food shortages. They probably need more food now, actually. But tell us about your beautiful work.
Yeah, well, it's really, really interesting because when I first kind of had my, I guess you could say, the beginning of the spiritual awakening, I didn't know anyone around me, didn't know what was going on, and somehow something landed in my inbox, the Shift Network, I think it was, and they said that there was going to be a video teleconference or a teleconference with Dr. Emoto, and I'm like, oh, I had seen the book Messages in Water, and that resonated with me so much. Like Carolyn was saying, it made the whole thing 3D. And I'm like, I gotta listen to this. Yeah. And so listening to him and what he was about, I mean, I was just swept away. And then when I was at your Galactic Wisdom Conference, Ted, to meet Michiko, who was Dr. Emoto's protege, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are the odds here? And then we were able to feature when we first took over the network, we feature some of Dr. Emoto's messages in our first directory. And so so Ted and Michi and, Carolyn, we've all been working together, like you say too, to help raise consciousness. And when I had Leon on my show, and then we had him on Ted's show, and we found out what was going on, on Hopi land, we were shocked. Yeah. And I think it was one of those things that it's like, if we can help get this message out, not only providing the clean water, but let people know, when they know, they're astonished. There's over 500 abandoned mines in the Navajo land, and all that arsenic, uranium. I mean, this is really, when we say clean water, they're drinking poison now. And it's compromised their health, everything. So the first thing to do is, it's a Band-Aid, but we got to get them healthy and show them that we're behind them and supporting them. I mean, it's imperative, and spread the message too, because as we do that, then policy can change. Because when people hear about this, they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And what can I do to help? And we've made it really, really easy.
Right. There's a lot of good people out there wanting to help. I know Ernest took me Mitchie and I to an abandoned mine, and he had a Geiger counter, and he put it next to the mine, and the thing went whoop, off the scale. It wouldn't register. It was so high in radiation. And I said, I think we've got to get out of here. He said,
well, that one place he pulled over, and you could see, it's like the stains on the
stains
rocks
from the uranium. It's right there.
Like, don't get too close. And we're like,
and then, you glow forever, if you get too close. So it's bad. So anyway, could you give your website out, please, for those people?
Sedonaspotlight.com.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I also, it was so, when you talk about the synchronicities and how this, all of us kind of wound up together and met each other in all these synchronistic ways, Ted and Michi, when we were all up at the reservation together and you guys did the presentation, Michi, tell them what the date was on the on the slide of you and
April
Dr. Emoto
27th. Right.
Yeah.
That was April 27th of, I think it was 2019. Martha, you mentioned when I sent the picture of Dr. Emoto being in Hopi land, that was taken on the same day, April 27th of, that was, I think it was 2004. It was 2004.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that Dr. Emoto took me there, and he was there with me.
And that's when we stayed in Sedona to go up there. And when we came here, we go, oh my gosh, what I could do serving them from here as opposed to Seattle. And so that's why I'm here. And
Yeah.
now.
Actually, Dr. Emoto and Vernon Masayasava, who is the Leon's, Ernest's relative or elder,
Connection,
your connection elder. Vernon came to Japan, and Dr. Emoto was in Hopi land. I think it was in 2010. Well, no, before that. And in 2010, Vernon was in Japan, and Vernon and Dr. Emoto wrote a book together called Prophecy of Water, and it was never translated into English, but it's here in Japan. I was going to show you the book, but I don't have it right with me right now. It's not in here in the office. So
Mitchie, that would be a wonderful project to do. It'd be fascinating.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
thank
you
you.
know what my friend Albert Einstein tells me, there's no such thing as coincidence, and we live in a deterministic universe where God doesn't play with dice. So things were meant to happen this way. And wonderful.
Well, I could translate that book now. Because I know the publisher here in Japan, because I helped. So at that time I was his personal
That would be great. Do you want us to wait, pause the recording and let you translate it, and we'll just wait for you to if you want, could.
Yeah. And it was so funny because Michi, you and Ted were supposed to drive down to Shasta and meet Stephanie South for the equinox. And Stephanie was Jose Arguelles' protege, and we found out about the relationship between Dr. Emoto and Jose too. And because you guys, became ill and couldn't make the drive, that night, my husband went to listen to a piano player and wound up sitting next to Leon on the night that we were supposed to meet. So the universe kind of, well, this didn't work, so let me throw Leon and
Jose Arguelles actually gave the skull, real skull, one of the 13 skulls, and gave it to Dr. Emoto in Hawaii. Oh no, that was not it was not Jose Arguelles, but Jose Arguelles' wife, Stephanie.
South,
So Stephanie gave it to Dr. Emoto because he had asked her to give it to Dr. Emoto. So Dr. Emoto brought it back to the office, and we had it for a long time. And there's a story. It's a sad story, so I can't really share it. But we were very honored to have it. So we all have such a strong connection here.
Yeah, lots and lots of synchronicities. So there again, the universe is conspiring and still supporting us to
exactly.
That's right.
Keep going like this. Yeah.
Well, we have a mystery guest named Galaxy Note 8. Who is that girl?
Who likes Tom Jones?
That's it.
Mr. Galaxy. Wow, you're really far out there, out of this world. Please tell us all about yourself in 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
My name is Leon McLaughlin, and I'm the CEO of the Clean Water Foundation. We are now in over 35 different countries providing clean, fresh drinking water to children around the world. When I found out about the Hopi and Navajo tribe, as you mentioned, Ted, it was through Martha, and then she put me on your show, and then we said, let's try to get together and solve this problem of these children and their families drinking water with arsenic and uranium and 100 other contaminants and having cancers at 15, lifespan, like you said, to 43, which I thought was horrible. Yeah. And I didn't think that was going on in America till I was on your show. And then a friend of mine, Kevin Chris from Providence and Swedish, told me to get in contact with Nancy from Airline Ambassadors and see if we can all team up to try to solve this problem. And I gave Nancy a call, and she immediately said, hey, this is horrible. But the funny part, she was down in Hopi land years ago and knew the situation and said, I'm all in. Yeah. And we started Global Giving and Sedona Spotlight and the Dr. Emoto to pray on how the water has just been disrespected and kids are dying. And so this has been a great journey with Ted, Nancy, Martha, Michi. And now with the Providence donation and the water units, we have over $500,000 worth of water units and PPE, and we're planning on going into 20,000 homes. And this global giving concert, as Nancy had said, is going to be an unbelievable, remarkable concert with great guest star lineups like Olivia Ohms, Marcel Nichols. So we got a great lineup, and we wish everybody to join us on this concert. And if anybody want to donate, they can go to my website, www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org. On the homepage, it shows the Hopi and Navajo water project. So yeah, working together works, and we're doing some great stuff as grassroots people praying with the message of water. And I can't wait to see the prophecy that Vernon wrote. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, we're really doing some great things and saving children and their families that's dying from not having clean, fresh drinking water.
Well, fantastic. Well, I want to thank Professor Laszlo for giving us opportunity on how to make the world a better place for his Upshift conference on February 22nd. I'll also be playing this on my show as well. We need to end now, unfortunately, but thank you so much, Mitchie, Carolyn, Nancy, Martha, and Galaxy Note 8 for coming on today. It's fantastic, and it's so good to see people like yourselves making the world a better place. Professor Laszlo's conference is all about. But thank you so much, my friends, for joining his conference today.
Galaxy 8 is here.
Galaxy 8.
Galaxy 8 was on the road, but I'm finally
There you
landed.
are, Leon.
Right.
Great.
Let it flow for love of water.
That's it.